Then like Guru Nanak, no?
Yes.
When he starts his preaching, he says, so many monks and nuns and people, everybody praying, worshipping the God
Yes.
in so many millions of ways.
Yes.
24 hours on this earth, everybody worshipping this Lord.
Yes.
But nonetheless, look how few masters are there.
Yes, yes. How many are completely enlightened?
Yes, so then why this? Why Guru Nanak, one Guru Nanak only?
Yes.
The thousands, billions of worshippers.
Yes, and all sincerely and doing all kinds
And
of
everybody sincere.
sacrifice and austerity.
Austerity
Yeah.
for years,
Yeah,
yes.
same like Buddha, only one.
Es que hay
At that time. Or two at least, two at the most. Yeah.
Un maestro
Only one
que-
Jesus.
Yeah.
Everybody worship and pray to
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Everybody recognize God and do all kind of sacrifice to reach God. But
Yeah.
nobody reached.
Nobody
Only
right.
Jesus, only Buddha, only Guru Nanak, only such masters as those times.
Es que ya
Now
dice
why? Is
que-
that predestined already?
Okay.
So is that now predestined that, for example, Guru Nanak gets enlightened and therefore he becomes the beginner of the Sikhism?
Y entonces estaba
Yes.
predestinado
It is
que
predestined.
He was picked, commissioned by heaven. Now you see, Guru Nanak, when he was a child, you see, he was different already.
He was beautiful. Yeah. He was a
not
saint.
only beautiful, but
He was a saint.
when he slept under a tree, when the sun moved, the shadow did not move because the tree wanted to protect him when he slept. And Jesus was compassionate when he was young even. He told his mother to give away her clothes for the poor people when she still considered whether she should give her last clothes. He said, give it.
y Jesús
He
desde
was a
muy
child then. And Buddha was brilliant.
And with the
y
little
Buda era
bird.
brillante.
And he was
saved the life.
compassionate. Yes. He saved the life of the little
Of
bird.
the little bird.
Yeah, and every other things. Yeah. And it was said that he was a bodhisattva from the Tusita heaven.
Yeah.
He wasn't an ordinary person. He was born ordinary in order to lead ordinary beings back home. That's why it is said that Jesus was the son of heaven, Buddha was a bodhisattva from Tusita heaven, and Guru Nanak was heavenly born even when he was young. He showed sign of sainthood. This is not ordinary, not hearsay, but it is a part of there is some part of truth in it.
Yeah, then let's say they told me Guru Nanak,
Yeah.
he went also to the Mecca, and then he was pointing with the legs there to the black stone,
Yeah, supposed to be the holy
the
image
holy
of,
image of God.
yeah. And then
And then no, he didn't touch the stone. He put his legs,
His
he
feet on
stretched
it.
out, and he put the feet,
toward
looking
this black
towards
stone.
the
It's
black
supposed
stone.
to be very,
very holy stone.
yeah, and nobody is supposed to do that.
Right. And so then another man came and said, no, you are not allowed to have these feet looking towards that black stone. So then Guru Nanak said, okay, then take my legs and put them in a place where
In
God
another
is
place
not.
where there is no God. Yeah,
Where
because
there
the stone is there,
because the stone
God's
is-
supposed to be there.
Piedra negra,
They
ya
say,
le dijo.
then please show me where no God so I can put my legs. And then
That's
they
it.
pointed the other side and he put it there and the stone was spring up.
moved. Yeah.
The stone moved with his feet.
Yes.
So what do you want to know?
So then they say he flew. Once he was in Saudi Arabia, some place like that, and he flew to the Mecca. Is that true? With his disciple, Mardas was the name, who played always, and they made music with him and sang to God.
It could be true, it could be not. You can learn flying.
Levitation.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, uh-huh.
But you learn too much, and afterward, like in when you read the book from Alexandra,
Yeah. Oh, I know Alexander Neil.
Neil, yeah.
David Neil, yes, I read, yes.
When he went to she went to Tibet.
Dressed as a man, as a pauper.
She has seen many men, naked men in the Himalaya, the Tibetan,
Yes,
with
yes.
chains all over around their body, iron chains. And wherever they fly, they have to take the chains with them. Because after they practice in flying too long, their body is too light, they will fly forever without these chains. So they had to use a chain to control somewhat of their weight,
Bueno, y
to
ella,
stop on the earth sometime for food. Yeah, and sometimes you hear lanking, the chains, the noise of the chain around. when that person landed on earth.
Y entonces de vez en cuando,
So if you want, you can go to Tibet and practice that.
así que si
Take
quieren,
many years to master this flying art.
When it's like, they invited me, the lamas, to do a 3-year retreat of Tumo, which is the conservation of heat, and I
Yep.
said no, for what, I didn't see a point in it.
We have heater. We have central heating.
That, yeah, we have central heating, and plus I'm interested in God, in knowing God.
Not the heat.
a mí
yes.
me invitaron
But you should have practiced it.
cada
For
eso.
what?
It saves a lot of drying clothes machine. You can dry your clothes in few seconds.
Porque usted,
Don't need to wash and dry clean. I say put in the dryer. Yeah, you
Dryer.
save the dryer money. After
But I would have frozen 3 years up in the Himalayas. It wasn't worthwhile, the suffering of 3 years freezing.
that is because you didn't learn tumor heat. I saw many yogis who walk in the Himalaya snow mountain naked with
Yeah.
bare feet, no
Yeah,
shoes,
yeah.
nothing.
True.
And their body was so pink
And hot.
and
yeah.
hot. Yeah.
And there are 2 yogis in Shivaratri Day, they show themselves to the people, but if not, they never eat and they never sleep, and they stay in these little huts, and then one day a year on Shivaratri, they allow people come to them, they sit outside, and they have huge bellies, and why is that? I never understood, and their nails are very big, their hair is very long, and they never eat and they don't sleep.
They eat air. They're breatharian. That you can learn also. Well, go and learn with them.
con
They don't
ellos,
teach, they are always hidden in those 2 houses.
Yes.
Nobody can talk to them and see them.
If they talk to people too long, they will die.
eh,
They don't talk. The day they get out, they also don't talk. They just sit there.
Hmm.
And the
yo,
people can watch them for 12 hours, but they
Mhm.
don't talk.
There's one in Taiwan, a woman, a
Mhm.
nun.
monja.
She didn't eat for 20-some years before she died. Saint Teresa of Germany.
Neumann, yeah, of Bavaria.
Neumann of Bavaria. She
Yeah.
also did not
She
eat.
had only the ostia.
Yeah, a little bit.
Bien.
Yes. Yeah, we can train ourselves outside of the eating habit. In India, I was told one story of a man. He was very ordinary, and he wasn't kind of practitioner or anything. But he drank only a little of salt water every day. That's all. He eat nothing. This is no means spiritual. Our body is very flexible. We can train it in any direction. I once nearly gave up the eating habit, but God didn't want it. He said no. So I had to continue to eat.
And you're so little, you consume so little.
At that time, I was so,
Oh,
terrified of food even.
yeah.
Everything I eat, I feel so
Sick of
impure
it.
and sick of it even. And I didn't want to eat anymore, and I stopped for a long time. But then God said, no, you continue to be normal. Otherwise, people come to see you just because you don't eat.
Yeah, that's true.
En ese,
And then they forgot all about enlightenment. They only asked about fulfillment of the stomach. The nun who starved or did not eat in Taiwan, she did not speak also.
So then, those who seek God, like those are the seekers of God, and they don't care if the master eats or doesn't eat or dress or doesn't dress. I mean,
yes,
that's
they
not
shouldn't.
important at all.
They shouldn't.
Uh-huh. So, for example, as a bodhisattva, anyhow, one has to come back again and again, and take a body again and again.
Why? Why the Bodhisattva has to come back again and again?
Well, that's what they taught me in the Mahayana school, that the bodhisattva comes back again and again until everybody's a Buddha.
Yeah, but not every. The Bodhisattvas, as general, they take turn to come. Some never left heaven.
Now, what is that by their choice? They can just stay up there?
Yeah, only the crazy one chooses to come down here.
solo los locos que...
Oh, but one could just stay in peace there and study scriptures and be happy.
Yes, but then you are suffering.
Ah,
Without master,
true.
you suffer
Sí,
here.
sin
That's for
maestros aquí
sure.
la gente
Oh.
So some crazy master had to come down.
y abajo.
But so in a way, the master is already realized when he comes down, like you. when you
Sure.
said.
Pero
Do you think he blindly come down or he jumped by mistake?
So like as a baby,
Or
like
take a wrong bus, perhaps?
oh, But then, for example, when Guru Gobind Singh, you know, the Das Guru, the 10th Guru of the Sikhs, when his children were put against the wall, you know, and buried alive, he knew that would happen because, you know, Master knows the future. Then why did he do that? Why did he accept that? Couldn't he do a change so they didn't need to die like that?
No, he couldn't. He could, but he don't want to. He didn't want to. Why should we upset the will of God? Why should we care about the body more than the spirit? When God doesn't want to make use of your body or anybody else's body anymore, he takes away. By any means. Buried dead or alive, same. Sooner or later we'll be buried anyhow, whether dead or alive. For the Master, the sooner go the better. Less suffering. What is the good of living in this physical body? What can this physical world offer to a Master?
Bueno, the consciousness that he knows there are saints and God is there, and with that thought he can be happy all the time.
Yes, on one hand, but on the other hand, he cannot allow himself to always be in that level. He has to suffer for the human beings as sin. When one of the very high disciple of the Buddha, okay, he was sick.
Only monks.
He was ill. He was above all the monks even. He was very clever and enlightened. All the monks were afraid of him. And he was sick. And somebody asked him once, why are you sick? You are saint. You have no karma. Why can you be sick? How can you be sick? Why you are sick? So he said, because all the beings are sick, therefore I am sick. Because the saints are very sensitive, they are one with all beings, therefore they can feel every being suffering. And they suffer a little bit of every body, of every being. The sound of a broken heart is silent, nobody can hear it, but the saint can hear. There was a funny story about two monks in China. There was one monk who meditates all the time and stay in the mountain, live a very pure and holy life. And there was another monk who goes around all the time and never seemed to meditate. And one day that never meditating monk went to the hut of the meditating monks in the mountain who hide and holy and slept there one night. And that monk was normally very holy and didn't really want to do it with anybody, he didn't want to receive anybody, but he just placed himself there and slept. So what can he do? And he snored all night long. And in the morning, the holy saint came up to his place and scolded him. You snore all night, you disturb my meditation. You lousy, noisy monk. You don't meditate and you even disturb my meditation. And the sleeping monk scolded him back. Say, you wicked monk. You couldn't even enter into samadhi when you meditate. You turn around and broke the leg of one end, and he cried all night long, and I couldn't sleep. Yes.
That's a very good
story. Different levels, okay. All right, that's it. And go home and don't break the legs of the ants and trouble me.
This shows the relativity of meditation.
It's also another story by Master Ling Chi of China.
Yes.
So when Master Ling Chi was still a student, he always slept. He slept everywhere. Don't imitate, okay? I'm talking about Master Ling Chi. Talk about Master Ling Chi, not you. And then one day he was sleeping in the meditation hall in one corner, and he saw his master came in. And he was pretend to be afraid, so he took his cushion and sleeping back and went to the other corner and hide and sleep again. Continue. The master knew. Well, they knew each other. So the master went straight to the meditation hall and see one monk who was sitting there meditating. And the master kicked him. Say, you sleeping monk, what are you pretending to do? You should learn how to meditate like Ling Chi. Or the monk sat, with all the rope and dignified and sit in front of the Buddha and get kicked in the ass. Burning one incense stick in front, Never moved until the incense is all burnt, but all moved inside. Therefore, Ling Chi was covered always sleeping back. But the master say Ling Chi was meditating and that monk was sleeping. You
durmiendo.
understand? It's different levels, yeah, yes. The Lingji, he slept, but he never slept. He only slept with the body. His mind always illuminated. Whatever he does, he's always centered in the self. He's never aviated from the center. But that monk is sat there like a wooden block, but mind going all over direction and couldn't do anything. So try to be centered and do not criticize people's appearance, the fellow practitioners. Some of them are not the way they look. So somebody just asked me what's the difference between the faces and what the different faces people make. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. If some people follow me personally every day, you will think, oh, what's Master doing? Eating, sleeping, doing nothing. But all the disciples would be reporting different stories and how busy the Master is. 24 hours in different parts of the world. Understand? Okay. So what the Master look like and what the Master does is different things. What the Master looks like is depending on our level. We only can understand the Master when we are up to the Master's level or somewhere near.